Can you do your Mitch McConnell voice and say, I've never farted?
I can never remember what it is.
It's just like
put your lips like this.
all and like this and like solid.
I've never farted.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to Credit Zero.
Welcome to Credit Zero, the after-school arcade podcast brought to you by...
Milk in a bag.
Milk in a bag!
Milk in a bag. Chocolate, strawberry, banana, cream pie.
I wish those were bags.
Cream pie milk?
Yeah.
In a bag?
Oh, yeah.
It's just milk-flavored milk.
Happy Milk Day, everybody. Is milk in a bag available in any capacity in the States? Because I've heard since, like, oh, it's a Canadian thing. I've heard since that, like, in Minnesota.
Sure, somewhere,
I'm sure, like, Wisconsin and
Yeah, yeah.
Vermont and places like that.
Minnesota and
I don't think there's
Wisconsin.
any laws against
Yeah.
it.
From me to we get milk in a bag.
From what I heard, it's not even like exclusively Canadian. Like, not all Canadian provinces have them. Apparently, BC doesn't bag their milk and everything, and they're kind of upset that we claim that bagged milk is Canadian because they think Ontarians are egotistical.
They
Well, I
use
mean,
jugs.
Ontarians-
And we used to use jugs too.
That's
we
wasteful as fuck.
still use jugs in some places.
We still use jugs.
Are we talking
Yeah.
about cartons?
No, jugs, like a
Jug.
plastic, like
Fat
plastic
jugs, dude.
jugs?
No, we
I
get some,
remember.
you get some fat jugs at like the at the convenience store. You get some fat
That is
jugs.
fat
at
dip,
the
and that's what I used to get.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah,
When I
yeah,
was a
yeah,
kid,
yeah.
I used to get those. And,
Those
and,
what?
like,
Those fat?
jugs.
Got it. All right, go on.
Big milk jugs. And so, like,
Sorry, big what jugs?
milk.
Okay, you get a pass. We all heard that.
I said it right. I don't know what you guys were talking
Milk
about.
jugs.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Survey says, did we hear the E? I
Yeah.
heard the E. Yeah. Leslie heard the E. Yeah. All of us.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
anyways, we used to drink milk out of jugs.
There it is again. I heard that again. Avondale's a weird place. I used to work at an Avondale. It was a convenience store. What?
Nothing, it's fine.
Were you mid-conversation? Do you want to finish that?
He's looking indignant.
Go ahead. You used to get milk jugs.
And
milk.
when we finish the jugs, we bring them back to the milk store.
I'm so angry. You did that one intentionally. You're so happy. I have never seen you with a smile that shit-eating in your life.
The convenience store had a bunch of empty milk containers. And like
It's funny that I'm this angry at you for this because someone who I live with and occasionally have sex with also says milk.
oh,
You occasionally have sex with Drew?
I don't live
Drew?
with Drew.
You're judging?
I don't live with Drew.
Avondale's a weird place. I used to work at an Avondale, which is a convenience store, and that's the place where I found the milk jugs. Did I ever tell you about my time traveling story in
Yes.
the convenience store? Did I tell it on this podcast?
I think you might have.
Okay.
Very early.
Never mind.
Do
Go
a
back and
synopsis.
listen to it.
Do it like a quick synopsis.
Okay, a quick synopsis. So, I put in my 2 weeks at Avondale, and I'm just like, I don't want to work here anymore. And it's my very last night, right? 2 weeks after I put in my 2 weeks, it's my very last night. And I'm just finishing up, and there's this guy that comes in. And the first thing that I think about is that the guy looks a lot like my dad. Okay?
Okay.
That's the first thing that I
Steve.
noticed. Steve.
From the highway.
Steven, as it were. Steve from the highway! I once this is gonna get into stories upon stories. Whatever. This one's shorter. One time after an improv show, I laughed at the fact that they brought in some guy from the audience to be in a scene, but he wasn't like a game, like he wasn't like a certain gimmick. He was just another member of the scene. So I was laughing. It was like, oh, it's all these members of this improv organization, and like Steve from the highway who doesn't know improv. And Luke lost his shit repeating Steve from the highway in a not the gumdrop buttons laugh voice that he sometimes does.
It's because I was creating the character of Steve from the highway, and I could so vividly imagine like a middle-aged man who like lives on the road.
Just the different traits.
And like
of
saves
that
a bunch of expired coupons, has
Yeah.
CDs, and the CD player doesn't work.
Yeah, his car is filthy,
Yeah.
and he loves the like black ice like air freshener, but it's so dusty that it's like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he always gets to a place just late enough so that his shipment doesn't even matter that he got it there, but he's always like, take it, please.
I think we had lore that he worked for the CIA and they were trying to let him go, but they thought that he would be too sad.
Yes. So they arranged to hit on him just to prevent him from like being let go and like looking at his sad ass face. They're like, we don't want to kill Steve, but he'll be so heartbroken otherwise.
Yeah, 'cause it's
we can't afford to keep paying it. That's what it was.
Yeah, because it's like a make-work job. Because they're too. He's like he loves his job.
He originally was paid to like transfer like communications to people, and when the internet happened, they didn't need him, but kept him on payroll for 50 years because he doesn't know how to do another damn thing, and they ran out of money to pay him. It's like, we gotta arrange a hit on him. He'd be so sad. All right. Anyway, so Avondale. This guy looks like my dad. And that's the first thing that crosses my mind. But he's the last person there. He will end up being the last customer that I ever serve in Avondale. Whoa. And he goes around and he buys a couple of he gets a couple of things. And he goes to the fatalistic. Yeah. All right.
He's leaving his job.
He's the last ever.
He goes to the front and he's like, hey, how's it going? Just these things today. And I'm like, all right, cool. And we ring up those things and he pays and he's like, all right, have a good day. And I go, cheers. And he starts to walk out the door, turns on his heels and goes, you know, people don't really say cheers anymore. And I go, oh yeah, I guess like it's not that common over here, but I guess I picked it up while I was in Australia, which is true, I did. And he goes, oh, you were in Australia for a little bit, me too. And we get to talking, right? We get to talking, and he talks. He somehow gets into this thing where he like went to Australia because he wasn't sure what he was doing with his life, and like how he met the love of his life when he came back to Canada, but she was a bitch and betrayed him and stuff like that. And he handed me a card for this garage worker. And I was like, oh, I don't have a car, because I didn't at the time. And he was like, no, trust me, it's important, take the card. And I was like, all right, cool. And it was like, if you ever have a car in the future, maybe you could call that guy. But trust me, you'll thank me for having this. And we get to like talking a little bit more, and like, we talk about what we want to do in our future. And he says, anyways, I should probably let you finish up. And I said, yeah, it was nice meeting you. And he says, what's your name, by the way? And I say, oh, Paul. And he goes, really? That's my name, too. And walks out without another fucking word. And here's the thing. He was really insistent on giving me that card, which I still have to this day. And if I time traveled back in time... Remember, he looked a lot like my dad. Well, aka older me. If I wanted to travel back in time and I wanted to be remembered for like, oh yeah, I worked at an Avondale, let's just go there. If I wanted to be the most memorable customer, which one would I be? The very last one. Exactly. I discovered time travel in the future and went back to myself and gave myself a garage guy's card.
Just the fact of like, take this card. No, you'll need it.
Yeah.
You'll thank me for this. And
I set myself up for a looper plot.
Don't lose that card.
Also, that is absolutely the asshole thing older me would do to freak out my younger self.
Yeah.
Like the card means nothing. It
Yeah,
has nothing
yeah.
to do with the
Here's
time
a card to
travel
a
at all.
repair shop.
Honest to God, this is going to be a paradox. I'm going to give him that card that I've saved since. It's probably not anyone's card.
The original person in the original Paul in the Loop just like made it online.
Yeah. Knowing that it would
Printed
just
it
be
out.
given from Paul to Paul to
Yeah.
Paul.
The business doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Well, now you have to go on the address that's on the card.
It's a field.
Yeah.
Like, I call the number, it's like, doesn't exist. It's got a 555 in it. I was stupid.
You call back 5 years later, there's like construction, they're putting up new buildings, and you're like, is it happening? Are they building it?
Yeah.
Suddenly the phone number works.
Yeah, and then I meet the bitch.
Yeah, and
Who
you're
ruins my life. I'm looking forward to that.
yeah. And
Could be
you're
you,
like,
Drew.
I have a bitch.
You're my silly little monkey. Woo! Fun times.
So can I say something about?
No. Yes, go ahead.
Can I say something about the
No.
show?
Yes, okay.
Can I say something about the show that just happened?
Yes!
And?
The show that happened in what month is it?
February.
Thank you.
It happened in February.
Yeah, this is February episode, everybody.
Drew, this is one of the times that you've made me laugh the hardest when you were doing the Monopoly scene and you were doing the exaggerated facial expressions, I had to change what I was doing during the scene to make sure I was not looking at you.
Oh yeah, we are an improv troupe, by the way. We do monthly shows in historic Kitchener, Ontario, and Drew did a funny thing. You know what's the best part about that? When he told me about that, because I was operating
no
your
idea.
arms, I had no idea that you were even making facial expressions.
Well, I wasn't really making facial expressions at first. I was just sort of like pointing along with it, and then Eric was like, more detail. So I started mouthing along what you were saying and making exaggerated facial expressions.
Yeah,
really
it was.
good.
It
You made me
hit
funny.
me a lot.
We make each other fun.
Aw, that's a very wholesome thing. Speaking of improv shows, sometimes we ask questions of our audience members.
every time. Really.
Every time we ask questions of our audience members, and sometimes we answer all of them. Sometimes we hate certain questions and rip them up and give them a pass.
Yeah, sometimes they're statements.
Sometimes they're statements. Sometimes
Yeah.
they're I statements, and then we have to apologize and move on in our kindergarten class. Do you ever have I statements when you were in kindergarten?
I feel like I vaguely remember that.
I don't remember that.
Where
What
it's
was
like,
it?
you're like declaring.
Yeah. So it was like an I statement was this thing of like declaring intent, where it's like, I feel upset when you do that. Can you please stop? And the formula was, I feel frustrated when you do that. Can you please stop? I remember that in my school because no one knew what frustrated was. Half of the students
too
knew
long
how
of
to.
a word.
Yeah, half the students knew how to pronounce it. So oftentimes it was like, I feel frustrated. Ye stop. And
Stop.
and like the I statement was like treated as our like Miranda rights in fucking like middle school, where it was just sort of like, if someone hits you with that fucking I statement, you had to stop. Otherwise, they could go to the teacher and say, I even gave an I statement. An I statement, for God's sake.
It held so much power.
Yeah.
Have you no decency, sir?
But then again, this is the same place that I ran around naked. So like they clearly
I want to run around naked.
I want to hoot. I want to holler. I want to slap my own ass.
The thing.
Daryl's favorite part of every podcast. You went from like actively questioning me the first time to going, fuck yeah.
Yes, we need more ass slapping on this podcast.
I'm okay with that.
Bend over.
Oh.
Darryl.
Okay.
Oh, this is like the monkey's paw. Darryl wishes on a monkey's paw for more ass slapping.
You know, it's funny you said that about your school with the I statements. In my school, it would have gone something like I feel donk.
Okay, never mind. You shouldn't have gone close to the mic.
Yeah. And so that's kind of.
So okay,
how
was
we
the
solve
donk
problems.
fist, hammer, other
Shovel.
kid? Shovel.
Wall.
It was a wall, right?
It could have been all of
KFC.
those things.
Why do
or
you think-
either of those things. Or
Anarchist
shovel.
cookbook.
Did you also hit a kid with a shovel? Because for some reason that came to my mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he didn't turn into a genius, I don't think. But
You haven't kept tabs on him. You don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
maybe
left
that's
that
like
school.
Maybe that's Coulomb's law or something like that. Like not only the whole distance between two charges thing, what actually Coulomb's law is, but also everyone who gets hit on the head with a shovel becomes a super genius. But you have to hit them like right at the right point of their lives, like when the brain just starts like that one growth in grade 2.
Crucial moment.
Yeah, you have
There's
to,
like a 10-second window.
you have to disengage the part of the brain that's like
Yeah.
so they're not infinitely
The
grown.
restraints.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have questions sometimes. Daryl, read the first one.
All
Heaven's sakes.
right, this is awesome. We got a lot of questions today too.
Yeah.
This is obviously from a previous show.
This is from the January show. Yes, we just did the February show. We're blowing the lid off this operation, I guess. That's a blast from the past. You look dead inside.
I feel dead inside, but I do like the callback. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so
The
this
dead inside was unrelated.
this is from Karina Cook.
Karina Cook.
Karina Cook.
They put their own last name?
Yeah,
wow.
they were.
That's
they were-
Did they put their address? Okay, for
they put
those
the social insurance
for those
number?
that listen to this podcast and come to the show, put your address on the next one so we can dox you on pod. Thank you.
We have to know it's you.
Yeah,
So Karina asks, "Who is your favorite person to riff off of, and why?"
Drew.
In this group or in general?
I assume in general because they don't give like
They don't specify?
yeah.
No.
Could still be in this group. That's a very
Oh.
interesting question.
I know, but I feel mean saying it.
Why? Is it not a mutual riffing?
Oh, it is definitely not a mutual riffing. So there is this friend of mine, a Facebook friend named Alan. And Alan,
Oh.
you've seen some of the Alan posts.
yeah.
I've given one or two of them to this group. And Alan
You sure you want to use his real name?
I haven't, so don't worry.
Okay.
And Alan, he doesn't... English isn't his first language, and he's also a little bit spaced out as a person to begin with. And so, like, everything that he says is not only, like, disconnected from reality, but also run through what I can only imagine is either a Google Translate or, like, his own rough understanding of English, either or. So, for example, if he ever tries to say my, he'll always say my own other. Every single time. And myself and a good friend of mine, who I will definitely not even name in any capacity, will always, she and I will always trade, like, our favorite Alanisms, because he makes every single post of his public, because he runs, like, a gaming company, and by that I mean he runs a Facebook, likable Facebook post page, that's called, like, something that's really, like, cool plus something that's really cool studios, like, Wolf Lightning Studios. It's not that, but, like, as an example. And, like, it has nothing to do with gaming, and sometimes he'll post, like, pictures of the Spanish Inquisition just going, like, I knew that they were after my own other Chris Angel gaming company on CBS Morning News. And I'm like, this is... And it's like a black and white Spanish Inquisition, like, dead Muslims everywhere picture, and I'm like, what the fuck, Alan? And so, like, I will absolutely send, like, it's just screenshots sometimes, Alan's, long-ass Facebook posts that contain, like, 17 billion words, 5 unique words, and just, like, send them to my friend, and she and I will just be, like, send, like, earnest messages where we're trying to read it out loud like it's a Shakespearean play. That is the person I riff the most.
That makes sense.
That's my answer.
Are you trying to find it, Leslie?
Oh, she found it.
I found one.
All right. Can you read it for us?
I will read it out.
A dramatic reading. By the way.
It's a...
I'll cut this out if this contains any sensitive information.
Yes.
It's a post with a screenshot from Google Maps. Not sure whose house, but some suburban house.
Okay.
As I told you the truth about my own mind manipulation going against the COVID-19 is the dog walking. Was kind of first started by me from this other website link right next to my own house street, middle at the forest, and the 2 other main street. Can, like, mind manipulate a lot of people. But ends up Chris Angel in kind of mind reading about the dog walking into my own street.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Except Chris Angel.
He spells it wrong.
What are you guys laughing about? It makes perfect sense.
All right, translate it for us then, Darel.
Well, clearly there's a portal between his 2 neighbor houses and, a bunch of other streets. And in this portal, you gotta watch out for vaccines and Chris Angel and.
What about the dog walking?
Well, the dog.
That was the integral part. That was the integral part. He skips over it.
You forgot. That's more of subtext.
That was to throw you off.
It was a metaphor.
Every post that he makes, I'm assuming, makes.
You'll never know, viewer.
It's written in code. Right? It has to be.
It's spoken in tongues, yeah.
From what I deciphered from that post, he was saying that my way of, like, combating loneliness or whatever during COVID-19 has been dog walking. And then he said something about, like, someone stealing that from him. So I think maybe he talked about how, like, the idea to walk...
It was my idea
to walk your dog.
They fucking stole it from me. I want credit.
I want to combat loneliness or COVID by dog walking. What the fuck? People are dog walking.
This feels mean. What? Does everyone else have someone that they riff, or are we all just gonna answer Alan at this point?
I can find another one.
No. Poor Alan. Let's leave Alan alone.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions to go through.
I like riffing off of you guys.
You guys are
Yeah, we riff off each other a lot.
This one is a statement, but without a question mark.
That's most statements.
Yeah.
Oh, and it comes from Leslie's favorite viewer.
Yep.
Oh?
What about a game where you can only use embarrassing moments, Douglas? brackets,
Oh.
Drew's dad.
What about it, Dougie?
Embarrassing moments. Yeah.
What about a game where you could only use embarrassing moments? Do you count this as a moment we can use in that game? Because that's embarrassing for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
can it be other
embarrassed.
people's embarrassing moments?
I'm embarrassed for you, man.
Doug Toffer? How much
should
money
we-
would you need for me to legally change your name to Drewstifer? Follow-up question: if once you name yourself Drewstifer legally, can we also legally change your last name to Druce?
Christopher Drews. That'd be such a pain in the ass, though.
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
How much money? Legally,
That would
like
be
you can use
such a
nicknames,
pain, yeah.
like just call me Drew, guys. Like legally, my name is
Yeah, but-
Drewstifer Druce, but now I'm a billionaire.
You already do
For
that.
for my job, I have to use my legal name. So I would have to get enough money to like.
Drewstifer Druce to the front desk, please.
I would have to like.
A finance management company has an intercom.
Yeah.
As a spill, Christopher Drew's.
The office is so big.
Customer Drew's truck. We lost money.
Put it on the
We're missing
Put it on the
$6. Christopher Drew's, where'd that go?
It's like
Making accusations over the intercom.
it's like the hypothetical my friend our mutual friend Jeff made, where there was just like this op where they're trying to like take over like this business with like the armed guards, like very James Bond, and one of them realizes, oh, we need to do this really stealthy, but they're like an idiot get smart type figure, so they go over the intercom going, "This is now a stealth op."
Everybody needs to know. No, I don't know, like fucking $1 million. But the real question is, Jesus, he's throwing his orangutan.
Oh, that's okay, because you're my silly little monkey.
But this question comes from our show that we did that was Shark Tank / Dragon Den's theme.
Yeah.
So
So
how would
he's
we-
giving his own. Well, no one's
would-
going to vote for him. These ideas
too late.
stinks.
We already voted.
How would we create a game around embarrassing moments? That's what I'm asking.
I'm wondering if it's.
for you.
Does he listen to this podcast? I feel like I'm being mean to him.
I mean, very occasionally, but not really.
I'm
no.
sorry, Doug.
Glizz.
I'm wondering if it's like embarrassing.
Doug Glizzy.
I can't wait to get up in that Doug Goosey.
Ew.
Let Leslie speak.
Hey Leslie, how's it going?
Hey, I'm wondering if it's like using embarrassing moments from like our lives, like our personal lives, and like
Presumably.
incorporating them in the scene, or if it's just like a scene where only embarrassing things happen to this person
Okay.
or to all of you.
The latter one is actually interesting. The former just sounds
Yeah.
like day in the life.
Yeah,
A
but
scene.
like you have to really rely on memory to like come up with a good story to reenact.
Motherfucker, that's his whole podcast.
Yeah, but I'm really shit at it.
That's fair.
But the second one, like,
We know.
that's true. Any
You're really
long-term
funny at other
viewers,
things.
Like, I live in the present. I live in the moment. I'm a
You live in the
to
present because
world.
you're a gift to me.
Aw, just to you.
Well, you're my silly little monkey.
Sorry.
It only works if you go seamlessly back into the conversation.
The second point about like an embarrassing thing happening to somebody is it like they're just
like if Harry Potter was French.
Hey, take a picture after we're done recording.
After right now.
this is why I can't go seamlessly into the next thing because you'll interrupt me no matter what I do.
My next class is like potions.
Monsieur McDo.
Nobody knows that reference.
Expedimus.
Just the way you posture, it just looks like Harry Potter gave up and went to a slam poetry.
Hermione Granger.
Whatever. Next question.
Ronald.
Sorry, Dad. We're not really
Guillermo.
answering your question. but-
Guillermo.
You just pass it to Luke and then get him to do the next one?
Oh, it hurts.
Voldemort. Dis pas le nom.
Anyway, the embarrassing moments thing is very interesting if that was like the mechanics for a character. Ooh, Matt asks. Sorry, I looked at Drew again. This is the position.
I'm not gonna change it because you want me to.
You need bongo drums, dude.
What is French or Harry Potter about bongo drums?
It's slam poetry.
True.
Matt asks, everyone's top 5 board games.
Top 5.
That's a lot.
Whoa.
Like, you might be able to answer that, Drew. You You look like you like board games, dude.
Pretty sure that's also my brother, if I had to guess.
Oh my lord. I'm gonna develop abs from laughing.
Top 5 board games. I mean, is that like games that I would want to play right now, or like games that have been most
Look at this
meaningful
fucking
to me?
pose.
So,
I think the best game.
the best games. So I'm gonna say
He's been revisiting Gramsci.
Dominion is a very like impactful game for me. Lost Ruins of Arnak is definitely one of my favorite games right now. I've been really enjoying Dice Throne.
Okay.
Dice Throne is a lot of fun. It's like Yahtzee, but like a combat Yahtzee.
Combat Yahtzee?
The fact you work in finance is so fucking funny. Look at how you look, dude.
There's also Settlers of Catan is like a
I always thought it was
classic choice.
I thought it was Catan.
didn't say either.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not a real place.
What?
Okay.
What? Oh no.
It's not like a Jumanji something.
Boardwalk is real though. It's in Monopoly.
Yeah, but how else would you pronounce it?
Boardwalk.
Use the diphthong?
Yeah.
Walk.
I always use the
Malk.
diphthong when I do laundry.
And diphthong.
You do laundry by dipping it in shit. In shit.
And twice shit.
Anti-laundry. I dip my clothes in shit.
That's the most anti-establishment thing ever. Just like, fuck you and your clean clothes. Gonna dip it in like the worst.
The second most
Azul.
anti-establishment
Azul is
thing
the
I've
other
ever
one.
seen is what Drew is wearing right now.
Alright. Does anybody else want to do top 5? At least do top 1 or 3.
Catan. Sorry.
Sorry, dude.
That's a
What
good
a
one.
I used to play when
Yeah.
I was a little kid.
I played a
That's
lot
fair.
as a kid.
Scrabble.
It's good.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Does Guess Who count as a board game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess who's a board game?
Scrabble. Monopoly. And Sequence.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
be.
do like Sequence. Sequence is fun.
I'm gonna be really bored. Oh wait, does Werewolf count as a board game?
Yep, Werewolves. It's a party game.
Okay, Werewolf's number 3.
Werewolf is number 1 for me. You all know how much I love One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Love me some Werewolf. Number 2, I'm gonna say Guess Who because it's a big part of my childhood and no other reason. I'm sure it's bad. Monopoly. Number 3, same reason. Number 4 will go to Yahtzee, and number 5, Betrayal at House on the Hill.
I've only played that once, but it was a lot of fun.
I played once and I got the most ridiculously overpowered. Like, I was the bad guy, and I got the most ridiculously overpowered thing, where it was just sort of like, you have activated a portal to hell. Every turn, like, 1 extra piece will fall in. So, like, first turn, 1 piece from, like, the basement falls
disappears.
in. And then, like, the next turn, 2 connected to it fall in. And if anyone's on one of those pieces, they lose.
They just drop to hell.
Yeah, and they have to, like, gather 3 items and then leave. And also, like, the first piece that goes is, like, the one you're standing on, because, like, you're now, like, the death of the house. And my thing was one of the only 2 things connected to the way out. So, like, they were screwed from the
You
beginning.
just go to the other spot and shoot them down when they come, basically.
Yeah, no, they were screwed. They were dead.
We got the box ending, so we didn't actually get a bad guy. We got the meta one.
You got the meta one.
Yeah, it was like Jumanji, where you get, well, the opposite.
Robin Williams shows up. That would actually be terrifying if, like, present day Robin Williams showed up.
Williams is dead.
Yeah, that would be why. That's why it's terrifying.
Decomposed.
Yeah,
Was that
oh.
5? That was 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you work with Robin Williams pre or post death?
Yeah, pre-death.
Okay.
I think that'd
Okay,
be
free.
follow up. Would you work with Robin Williams?
Okay, yes, misspoke, whatever.
Okay, my top 5 board games. A lot of these are not actually board games, but they're like party games. So
I mean, I gave fucking Werewolf, you're fine.
I like-
Yahtzee.
Party games are still board games.
I like
Oh,
Blockus.
that's a
One of my
board game.
favorites. Yeah, that's
Blocus?
Blockus.
Yeah.
I like Unstable Unicorns,
Oh,
which is like a card game. I like Zombie Dice.
It's a card
It
game.
is like the.
My
Zombie
favorite
Dice
board
is like
game is Pokemon. Yeah.
Zombie Dice is the perfect game.
It's not a board game.
It is a board game.
It's not a
There's a Pokemon board game.
Porkamon.
That's what Drew likes. Pokemon.
Porn parody.
Okay, and this game called Once Upon a Time, which is like a really nice game for like improvisers. It's like a storytelling game.
My favorite board game is Uno. My name's Drew Holden.
I didn't say Uno.
Yeah, I know, but I'm making fun of the fact that you think card games can be board games.
Then I want Crazy 8s in my top 5.
No, it's sarcastic. I don't actually think
Okay, well,
card games can be board games.
Okay, well, predicated on Drew's premise.
I mean, my premise is like, if it's a deck of cards, like a standard deck of cards, and you make a game out of that, I probably wouldn't count that as a board game. But if it's like a specialty set of cards, I would call that a board game.
No!
You could just
Well,
get
he worked at the
specialty
board game
Crazy
place.
8.
He knows.
Yeah, but we
he
also
has
have
the final.
we also
set.
have video games there, and I wouldn't call those board games.
Yeah.
So there are lines. But like,
Circuit
Yeah, you
board.
had like pizza there. You wouldn't call them
I wouldn't
board
call that a
games.
board game.
Yeah.
It's more of
They
a
have
board
cocktails.
than card games.
They had Suzette there. You wouldn't consider Suzette to be a board game.
No, probably not.
You have
But
birds
okay,
there.
okay. Well, this is the last game that I'm going to say, and we can judge all of us together.
Okay.
Called Mastermind. Anybody know Mastermind?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's like a
yeah.
guessing
I never
game.
played that.
That's like if Guess Who is a game, then absolutely Mastermind.
Yeah, board games can be like a lot of different things.
I like Mastermind. Mastermind's cool.
Would you consider Mancala a board game?
I don't
Yeah.
know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, chess is a board game.
I guess so. I really like Mancala, and it's ancient.
good.
It's
Would you
from, like,
consider
ancient Egypt.
Go to be a board game?
Yes.
Really, the improv game. Interesting. All right, let's
fuck
go on.
you.
Let's move on. Has everyone answered?
You know
No.
what you did. No,
Go.
Leslie
That's
didn't.
like
I don't know if I can come up with 5, but I like Codenames. Codenames is good.
You can repeat if need be.
I do like Betrayal of House on the Hill.
Yeah.
That's good. Nom, 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 nom.
She just ate Luke.
Yummy. Back when it was like not played too many times and it was good, Cards Against Humanity had its heyday, you know?
that left a bad taste in Paul's mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've fallen out of love with Cards. I don't one night stand with Cards.
We have a complicated
You can only
relationship.
have fucking one-night stands with Cards Against Humanity.
We
You
grew
can't have a
apart.
committed relationship with Cards Against Humanity. And if you do, you're a very boring type of person.
This one I don't know the name of, so maybe you could help me out, Drew. But
It's also Cards Against Humanity.
maybe. No, so it's like I played it once with one of my improv teams, and we all got these booklets with like a little whiteboard inside and like a hexagonal playing field.
I think
and
he just went to school.
What do you do after school?
More school.
But I think the whole gimmick was our ship crash landed in outer space, and someone's an alien on the board. But then the rest of us have like roles on the ship to play.
Aim.
No, I'm like, I feel like that
You
sounds
censor
very
sound?
familiar.
Yeah.
But I can't think of the name. Even though it kind of sounds like Among Us. But
No.
it's I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name.
Also, I definitely can't do that.
Can we
as
cut that out?
a new censor sound because, like, he said it at the same time as Leslie was talking. That's not how audio works.
Well-
I have railed Drew for not knowing what anything is when he made that same mistake. So I have to say, you don't know what anything is, Luke.
You don't know what anything is.
You don't know what anything is. I said it twice.
Do you know
again.
what this is? No.
No.
Probably not.
Do you know what this is?
I don't know what that is.
Do you know what this is?
I don't know what that is.
All right, I'll put it away then.
I don't know what.
Zip.
I don't know what it. I don't know any of
We're
this.
all looking at Luke right now.
I don't know any of this.
Hand him the question.
Can someone tell me what it is? I don't know what this is.
It's a question. Read
Do
it.
you know how to read?
I don't know what that is.
Read it.
What was your favorite gift you got?
Hold on. Yeah, keep reading it. Oh, interesting. The name is on the back.
Okay, what was your favorite gift you got or gave this holidays? Also, slavery, yay or nay? Come on.
That's two questions.
From Olivia, Princess Blevins.
Love.
Race-based slavery is not cool, but
But
Yeah.
video game based.
I'm just saying, like, because of prison labor, a cheeseburger costs $1, and that's mighty convenient
That's pretty
for us.
sweet.
Yeah. Do you know how much your McNugs that you get every day, Drew?
Nugs are
I just had
expensive.
McNugs.
Nugs are like $14 for the combo.
Do you know how much more they'd be if prison labor wasn't a thing?
Like $20?
$20 more.
More?
$20 more. It's a real expensive world out
That's
there.
like a whole chicken.
Yeah,
But what if
aren't you
the-
glad that people went to jail for marijuana possession? Then marijuana possession was deemed legal, and now
Yeah,
people are
staying in there.
still staying in there,
Making my nugs.
making your nugs.
The wrong kind of nugs, and not the nugs that they want.
What's the nugs
Is
that
it-
they want?
No, that's the nugs that you dip your underwear in.
Oh.
Yeah, you
Duh.
nugs and weed.
Man, I'm not proficient in weed. I'm not well versed in weed. I'm not fluent in weed. I was thinking like, why is he talking about gold nuggets?
Milk
Are
nugs.
they prospectors?
Milk nugs.
Anyway,
Nugs.
what was the best gift you gave/got? Gave and/or got?
I got a lot of really good. Well, actually, no. I got a PS4 this holiday season.
Wow.
And that was very nice because I'm not good at relaxing.
That was very
And
kind of you, Drew.
You're welcome.
And it's thanks.
That's what happens when you sleep with me. You get nice things.
Yeah, dude.
I slept with you 7 times, and I got a
Sorry.
fucking expired coupon.
Let me.
Are you
let me-
putting out though?
No,
I'll take.
he forced his way in.
I'll take.
This is getting weird.
That's-
I take-
let's strike that.
Drew buys me nice things because I take the whole dick.
You forced half of it in?
I can go so deep
But then he took the other.
on a dick.
No, with me.
Back
you forced
walls.
half of it in. It was the full
I
consensual
honestly, I
dick.
don't know what he was going for and how you were intersecting with it.
I never know how I'm going to intersect with anything. That's improv, bitch. I don't pre-plan
That's
this.
intersectionality. It all like comes together.
Improv is just intersectionality.
It's just a whole bunch of different disciplines.
Never
It
say
is a
that.
lot of. I don't. You're saying it ironically. I don't disagree, though.
Yeah.
No, I mean
probably
that's
true.
the
It
way
is
I
a
was
lot of
taught.
disciplines.
Everything intersects with everything else.
I mean, it does.
Complex
Improv
system.
has a lot to do with psychology. Has a lot to do with like general arts. Has a lot to do with like.
Pooping in the bed.
Collaboration.
You said pooping in a bag? Daryl.
It's like
The art and science of pooping in the bed.
it's in a bag.
Is it in the bed or in
Poop
a bag?
I heard bed.
I heard bed, but then you said bag. I'm like, both is good.
It's its own discipline.
The
in
art
of
and
itself, but it
science,
intersects
critical
with improv.
history of pooping in the bed. Our ancestors pooped in the bed. Their ancestors pooped in the bed for time immemorial. Before Homo erectus, we pooped in the bed.
Yeah, we did.
Older than beds, we pooped in beds.
Sometimes I shock myself.
With how much of a genius I, Daryl Dean, am.
Yeah.
You shock all of us, too.
Anyway, speaking of pooping in the bed, I got a PS4 for Christmas, and I'm really happy about it.
I got an answer for the best one I gave.
What's that?
On a whim, I was trying to figure out something that my sister and my, I guess, brother-in-law, stepbrother, how does that work?
Brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law.
Her partner?
Her partner.
Yeah.
My sister and her partner. And like I was at the store and I was like, I could either get like a bowl or one of those as seen on TV, like wooden instruments for cooking type of thing. And I was like, I don't fucking know what they want. Let me just like at random, the as seen on TV thing. Let's go like more esoteric with it. Cause like bowls are more traditional. These were like some like real obscure like scrapers and like things that you'd use in cooking in a more niche. Thank you. And apparently, they got COVID this season, so I just sort of like sent it along, so I didn't get to see their fucking faces when they opened it. But according to my sister, when he opened theirs, he was like, "Oh my god, it's perfect," and I felt good about that.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, like, it had nothing to do with skill or actually knowing them, but, like, I got the right thing, and that's always a good feeling.
Stumbled across it.
Yeah.
basically.
I care way more about, like, getting the right thing for someone else than getting the right thing myself, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially since, like...
Apparently you didn't put a lot of thought into it, but...
I mean, my parents have made it abundantly clear that like they don't know too much about like my interests and things like that. My dad got me like a trivia bathroom reader because like Paul really likes obscure fun facts. I think that's something you pointed out, but like a lot of them are wrong.
Oh no.
For example, there's like this thing where this whole thing dedicated to makeup, and one of them is like, no, there. What's interesting is that the most booming makeup industry in Japan is called Oshiro, and I was like, oh, that's interesting because Oshiro means backwards in karate. What's up with that? So I looked up Oshiro. Turns out Oshiro just means Oshiro style. It's some dude's name. Or a castle's name or something like that. It doesn't actually mean the word backwards in Japanese. And I was like, that's very interesting. But hang on. I googled the word Oshiro and nothing related to makeup came up. If it's the most booming thing in Japan...
You think.
So I looked up Oshiro makeup and Google went, did you mean Oshirowa makeup? They spelled it wrong in their trivia book twice.
Yeah, but you still learned something, so it was a good gift.
No, I had to learn on my own merits. And also, one of the first facts in the book, like maybe even the first fact, first of all, it was about Hitler. That's a little bit weird.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one. And it was also like...
How cool he is.
You open the book, yeah.
No, Hitler was a cool dude.
I think the first...
Oh, boy.
I think the first section was on eccentric dictators, and that's why. And the first fact was like, towards the back end of his life, Hitler only ever drank clear broth and ate mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
To this day, historians have zero clue why he did this. And it's like, we on this podcast know why not, because on our own trivia episode,
Why
we
not?
learned...
Why not?
Because we learned that, Hitler had like...
stomach problems.
Teeth.
Oh, he also had massive
Yeah,
stomach
Because of
problems,
that.
too.
Yeah.
He had the stomach problems because of the teeth thing.
I thought he had like some sort of disease or something.
Well, clearly this is less well known than I thought, but yeah, towards the back of his like Hitler had like 2 teeth remaining in his mouth. So he drank clear broth and ate mashed potatoes because that was all he could eat. And like this book going, to this day, historians are baffled. And it's like, no, they're fucking not.
Dude had 2 teeth.
Dude had 2 teeth. Of course I'd be eating fucking broth and mashed potatoes with 2 teeth.
He was also like,
Two
the
fucking teeth.
digestive thing might be like one of the things that's noted by historians is that he had a big farting problem. But near the end of his life, and he was embarrassed by it, and he had like a
Can I go on the record?
Yeah.
Hitler, a lot of problems.
yeah.
Not just farting.
Not just farting, not just teeth, not just like not listening to people, particularly Jews.
He needed to go to a doctor.
Well, he had a doctor that fed him drugs that didn't work and made things worse.
Oh,
Oh yeah, he had a cocaine
addicted.
problem
That's
too.
based.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pilled. Oh, now I'm Hitler pilled. Oh no.
New censor sound.
Yeah. No, that shouldn't have been clean.
Nobody else was talking.
I don't know how anything works.
What the fuck was the question?
Anybody else has a gift they want to
Right.
share? Should we move on to the next question?
I got an air fryer for Christmas.
Hey.
How's it
It's
going?
so good. I've only made like frozen shit, and I haven't.
Really
You used to.
extracting the value.
Yeah.
Hold on, you've only made frozen shit? You're using it very backwards.
I know.
It's flash freezer, air fryer. It's got everything.
That'd be
Wow.
so cool to have a flash freezer.
That,
Just, like, on your
especially
counter.
as an air fryer, you just turn it to one end of the dial, it's frozen the other. I would just put the
It's in
same,
Kelvin,
like,
it's the
I'd put
temperature.
the same nugget in it and just go wee all the way home.
Yeah.
but don't eat it afterwards, right? That's the last thing you'd want to do.
If you ate the nugget afterwards, yeah, because it would be like
Dehydrated.
dehydrated, right? Yeah.
I don't know what's coming out of my mouth at any moment. I'm sorry. It was stupid.
All right, let's move on to the next question. Do you have a gift you want to share?
Oh, this Christmas I got jumper cables. We usually, in my family, we like to give things that are like practical, things that we'll use.
You hate love.
And I actually
Love and
did.
fun.
I actually did use them like 2 weeks later.
Wow.
It was like it came
Well, that-
super handy.
That's a bad thing, ain't it? You had to restart your car, dude?
I would not only had to restart my car, but I had to get help from a stranger.
Ew.
Good thing your
Boot my
family hates
car.
love and fun.
Did you give them a little kiss for their trouble?
No, but I will mention him on the podcast. Thank you, Simon.
Hey, Simon.
Simon, you're a good Samaritan.
Simon. How you doing, Simon?
Alright.
You tell him to listen to this podcast? Maybe he already does, and he's like, oh my god, that's the creep I helped?
Yeah. Oh man, anybody listening to this podcast probably thinks we're creeps.
Why?
I don't know.
Give at least 5 reasons. Go.
And like per person.
Yeah, per person.
Like, because some
5
people have
reasons
stronger cases.
Don't
Yeah.
point at me when you say that.
You said your dick smells like cat poo.
As a joke.
Creep.
Okay, question. Did you say it as a joke, or did you make it so as a joke? Like,
Well,
all the
no.
guys are gonna be laughing about this.
My pants smelled like cat poo. Therefore,
What an elaborate
dick
prank.
probably smelled like cat poo.
Why'd your pants smell like cat poo?
Because it was
dude?
hanging over the kitty litter.
Why'd you hang your pants over the kitty litter?
Because I didn't know where to put the kitty litter.
So you put it under where you hang your pants.
Underwear.
Answer the question, you dingbat.
Yes, I did.
You absolute dingbat. That's gross. Can I say for the record? You don't mind me saying? That's gross.
Can I say for the record?
Yeah.
I got a walk for Christmas, and that was my gift.
Ooh. Have you been using it a
Make some
lot?
fried rice.
Actually,
in
Have you been
It's
using your
called a
walk?
promenade.
Have you been using your walk around the clock?
Yes, I have. Not around the clock though. Usually only like once or twice a week.
What do you make in your walk?
I've made fried rice, and which is why I got it because I like making fried rice.
We remember
Walk.
from a few episodes ago you bragging about using that rice,
Yeah.
making that rice.
But the thing is now I've also made stir fry, and I've not made stir fry in it yet, and that shit was tasty.
Yeah.
I got
That is
some-
impressive that you got a
Poison
walk
sauce.
and your first thing that you made wasn't stir fry.
I mean, it's kind of like
It's
the
like the
go-to
first.
thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
But I got it because of the fried rice thing, so I had to make fried rice. But yeah, like just getting some raw chicken, throwing it in there. So
Yeah, that's entirely fair.
Is the fried, like, I heard somewhere that, like, the heat has to be really hot for the fried rice to taste
Fried.
authentic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna claim that mine's authentic, because I've just gone on YouTube and been like, how do I make fried rice, and then sort of modified it slightly from there. But yeah, like there's a certain like.
Did you leave incriminating
crunchy
comments?
Crispiness. I've only ever commented on like 2 YouTube videos in my life
Go on.
that I wasn't.
I wanna listen.
planning on in explaining.
Well, too late,
I
dude.
think one of them was, I remember one of them, and it was Die Scum. I remember that.
Yeah. But that was when I was younger and more edgy.
Yeah.
No, I think in the last.
And the other one was Dia Scum. He was commenting on a German YouTube video.
Die Scum.
Yes, go. I think in the last 8 years I've left one YouTube comment, and it was like a month ago.
What'd you say?
Yeah, what'd you say?
It was on.
You have to say it.
I could name drop the channel. I guess it was an old school RuneScape YouTuber.
Oh yeah.
And
Why have we not
so
played
long.
RuneScape together, Drew?
We talked about this, and you're like, I play RuneScape, the normal one, RuneScape 3, and I was like, oh, I'm playing old school RuneScape.
I can play old school RuneScape with you. I'll play it for you. I want to play things
You'll
with
do
you.
it for me?
Yes.
Aw.
Dumbass.
I just got my fire cape. I was so proud of myself. Anyway,
Nice.
that's a whole other...
You will have to carry me. I am very much nubular. I will be very much nubular at
Oh,
old
it took
school
me a few
RuneScape.
tries. don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's totally new.
But will you play RuneScape with
Yeah,
me?
sure, I'll play RuneScape with you.
We have it on the record. Drew will play RuneScape. Play some air horns. Thank you.
But anyway, it was a very chaotic video. It was like...
More air horns.
It was a guide video.
Air horn. Oh.
And then, it sort of
air
devolved into, weird...
Every time thereafter that Drew says play an air horn.
It dissolved into a weird, how would you even describe it?
Como se dice?
Yeah, como se dice. Yeah, that's what it was.
No,
But
como se
That's what
dice
it
means
How do you just say?
Yeah.
It had weird subtle jokes that
You're
you'd have to
so uncultured.
you'd have to understand the game so I can't really explain it I don't know, using as an example, using Snapdragon seeds for your birdhouse runs for all you nerds out there that understand what the hell that means.
I prefer
That was a
barley.
fake sentence.
I prefer barley.
I use wild blood, I think. But
Wild
it's-
blood? That's it. Why do you use wild blood
Because
seeds?
they're 2 gold pieces each, super cheap.
Yeah, but they're not. They don't have the best returns.
Yeah,
Barley
but
is way better returns.
They get them birds, I care about
They
the
get them birds.
I care about killing birds more than I do about the returns.
What?
That's why there were no birds.
But anyway,
The miasma in the air. I released it.
I commented that I liked the video,
It was in his
basically.
farts.
And, yeah, this is the first time I've done that in 8 years.
Anyway, you commented
got
that you
miasma
liked
from
the
his
video.
farts.
Well, I can't remember word for word what I said, but I was like, this video was such a mess, I loved it. That kind of thing.
I see. If I release any OG,
Or
old
it had
school,
such chaotic
old
energy.
school RuneScape content, would you comment on it? I'll give you a kiss.
If it was good.
All right, I better make it good then.
Because I don't know, I have a hard time. This is sort of a tangent. I was talking to my girlfriend about this, and maybe y'all can relate. I have a hard time following like content creators that aren't doing the thing that I'm interested in at the moment.
Well, duh.
Like I follow the game more than the content creator.
More than the player.
Yeah, more than the player. In that some people will stick.
You
to
like
the
game,
player.
not the player.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate the game, not the whereas some people, my mind has to catch up with the things you say. Don't judge me.
That's fair. So does mine.
So like some people like I don't care what game you play, like I'll stay with it, and that's like the correct choice.
Okay, can we stop with the air horns now? It's gone. There's been like 47.
What do y'all think about that? If you like watch somebody's work, I don't know if it's like a director's work or like
I've got an answer for this.
a YouTuber, like a streamer or whatever. Do you only watch like for Luke? Like if you're following a director, will you watch every movie that they ever make?
He was
or
like,
only
all
if
right,
the-
Luke.
Only if the content of the movie like interests you. Like that's the question that I'm asking.
There's a line of credit. If they start making bullshit, I don't want to see them again.
It'll trail off.
Yeah. So if they're doing well, then I'm like, oh, I want to see the next thing. But if they continually start to make things that disappoint me, I'm less interested.
Makes sense.
And when it comes to directors, I don't really care about the cult of directors. I've only ever watched the filmographies of 2 directors. One, because people wouldn't shut up about how good he was, and so I decided to watch all of his movies. Turns out most of them stank. Stanley Kubrick. The other one, Harold Ramis, because he's got a very varied lineup of movies, and also he recently died at the time, so I was like, what did Harold Ramis even do? And it turns out he did a lot of movies. He did Year One.
Yeah, that was like his last movie. I think.
One of his last movies,
One of his
yeah.
last movies.
Maybe his last movie. When it comes to YouTube content creators, I'd say that I find them based on the subject matter, and then I only stay, even if I like their subject matter, I will only stay if I like the personality of the person behind it. So there are YouTubers that cover my favorite things in the world boringly. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
However, there are YouTubers that cover things that I am not interested in, as a rule, like PhilosophyTube. But I will watch her videos because she finds a way to make those things interesting. I think like there are certain YouTubers that are masters at this. If I say Vsauce, everyone
Michael
knows. Yeah, exactly. Everyone knows Vsauce.
What
no one,
is a mirror?
yeah, no one goes onto YouTube just going like, I expect like the content of Vsauce to be something I'm already interested in.
Right.
No one cares about that because the way it's presented
It's like
is way better.
niche science
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
And I fully embrace that sort of YouTube attitude of like, the presenter is the thing that I'm interested in.
Philosophy Tube's great at that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, she's just like an incredible like communicator
Yeah.
and entertainer.
And there are certain YouTubers that I thought I wouldn't like that I like based on the way they made things that I don't care about interesting. I don't give a shit about NASCAR, but I watched Emp Lemon's video. What's it called? It's not And Here's Why. Oh, it was called Never Ever. There's a series called Never Ever, and it's basically explaining how one aspect of one thing is unique. For example, there will never ever be a Smash Melee esports player like Hungrybox. And that was the first video of
So
Emp Lemons that I went into. Yeah, and genuinely, Hungrybox is a unique case in his like field, whereas like you know other ones are like more.
Box is the Jigglypuff player, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
I'm
the
thinking
Puff
of the same
main.
person,
Yeah. And he did one on Dale Earnhardt, and there will never ever be a NASCAR player like Dale Earnhardt.
But the way he presents the information, you were like, I don't care who he's talking about.
Well, he told a story with it, and
Yeah.
you really, as a video essayist, I've come to respect this. You need to tell a story. You can't just do a standard essay, informative style. And yeah, he did one on that, and then he did one on Talladega, which is another track in NASCAR in Alabama or something like that. And clearly I paid so much attention to it. But like it was like 2.5 hours long. I paid attention to it more than most movies I've watched.
Wow.
Do you know John McPhee? Okay.
No one say a damn thing. You can.
Is he on Fleetwood Mac?
No. That's Christine McPhee. And
She died last year.
I'm thinking John McPhee. No, it's
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Anyway, he was
His name is my name too.
he was part in like the 60s. There was like a creative nonfiction thing. So like Truman Capote, fucking, what's his name?
Roy
Fear and
Orbison?
Loathing. No, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Fucking.
Oh, Roy Orbison.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
What's drug guy? Tom Wolfe and Hunter S. Thompson is what I'm saying.
Dick
but
Wolf.
like all the people in that kind of generation were like, oh, the way to make creative nonfiction is like gonzo journalism. So like Tom Wolfe like spent like a month with like a peeping Tom, or like Hunter S. Thompson did like all that like
Dick Wolf spent a week with a peeping dick.
or like Hunter S. Thompson did all those like drug trips and stuff like that. John McPhee, like his creative nonfiction is like a book, like a doorstopper book about like fish migration that you're absolutely enthralled about. And it made me think of that, where it's like he made this sound so interesting, like the ecological like succession of this like one neighborhood.
I bet that's why a lot of people like Werner Herzog too.
Yeah.
Because I got recommended Grizzly Man
Grizzly Man's pretty
because apparently that's his best documentary ever.
one of his best.
And
He made a lot of them.
Yeah. And I watched it, and I really liked that point near the end where it was just sort of like, and like there was
Treadwell.
no, he basically just went. He sees something in these animals. All I see is the cold indifference of nature. And like aside from like Werner Herzog's his style, it's super interesting to think of it like that. Like to think of like this guy who believes in bears like being like more than what you see, despite Werner Herzog positing the documentary as bears are not more than they seem. They're just a part of nature and they will eat you no matter what.
Yeah, he's a guy who's like his voice. He puts his voice, like kind of controversially in the documentary field. He definitely puts his voice into it. He also like
Personality, it's what I'm saying.
yeah, he puts his voice into the story. He also like there's certain times where he is like he's not he does not see documentary as an educational tool. He sees it as like just a different way of telling a story, including like lying, and leaving things out because he's looking for an interesting story.
Like he doesn't want to leave narratives to fiction.
No, because he does not see documentary as like a medium for truth. Like he's like, no, I don't care about that.
He lies
Yeah,
in his documentaries?
Because he.
Welcome to the real world, Darel.
It's not a documentary anymore.
Because he's like he's a fiction filmmaker and a non-fiction filmmaker, and he's just like, no, they're like the same thing.
Right-wing pundits make documentaries all the time, though, Darel.
Yeah.
That's just somebody else's truth.
All right, that's fair enough. That's a good refutation.
Anyway,
What's the
Grizzly
next
Man's
one?
pretty cool.
Grizzly Man's pretty cool. What's the next question?
Oh,
Wait, did you read the last one?
no, I asked
Okay.
my own question
All right.
because I'm selfish.
Yeah, please.
Did you grow up eating
Yes.
dead
Oh.
frogs?
No.
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 What is your real name?
I've never eaten live frogs.
What the
either.
hell is this question?
Is there an underwater basket weaving convention?
I sure hope so. That
Are these
sounds fun.
related to the improv games we did or
I
something?
don't think so. They don't. None
This
of these
is like
sound
something my
familiar.
dad would do.
Well, is there a name on the back? There's no name on it.
This feels
Your dad
mean.
didn't come to our show.
Yeah, I know.
Did
It
you-
sounds like something he would do.
Did anybody eat anything weird growing up? Like I ate crickets
That's
a couple times.
that's so
I'm
generous.
extrapolating
That's
from it
so
because
generous.
this is not enough to have a
Oh,
conversation.
no, hold on. Did you grow up eating dead frogs?
No.
Did you grow up eating dead frogs?
No.
Did you grow up eating dead frogs?
No.
Did you grow up eating dead frogs?
Nuh-uh.
Did I grow up eating dead frogs? No. We can go to the next one.
Okay. What is your real name?
Wait, what was the thing you said about crickets?
Did anybody eat anything weird growing up?
That is so generous. That is so generous.
I'm a
That is so
generous
That is
generous.
so generous.
You are a generous man.
I ate pussy once.
As a kid?
It was awesome.
Growing up?
Oh, that's unrelated. That's unrelated.
Drew, you and your fucking pedophilia
Did you
tendencies
grow up?
can leave
Did anybody
this
eat
conversation.
anything weird growing up?
We're always growing up. How about you start growing up,
boo.
Drew?
Boo.
You're not even fully formed until you're 24. I can guarantee you I ate pussy at least once before that. Possibly a lot of times.
I definitely did.
Yeah, and you described it to me in
I
detail.
remember that.
Okay,
That was cool.
relax.
That was my first time eating pussy.
Look at the twinkle in his
It was a
eye.
special day.
Man, my first time eating pussy, I was not good, probably.
I was great.
I would imagine.
You were great?
It was great. I studied.
Okay, to be fair, my first
Is this American Pie? You have
Is
the
this
book and everything?
is this more admitting to crimes? Because like whatever, there's Romeo and Juliet lost in Canada. My first time eating pussy was like when I was like 14. So I mean,
So
like,
you were a kid. Don't judge me.
why am I judging you? You said like were you a child or something like that? You were gross about it.
You were 14.
That's not a child. That's a
pretty
teenager.
gross, though.
Can we
For-
cut this,
to-
can we
wait,
cut this part out?
For two consenting people in high school
Yeah.
to like engage in something that
No,
we already
it's
know
fine.
people in high school do, you're telling me that's gross?
It's not. Well,
I was in a 6-month relationship with someone in like grade fucking like
6
11.
months.
Were you expecting me not to eat their puss?
No, but
You were
you
14 in grade
countered my
11?
thing.
No, this was like another instance. I was not in a relationship
still
with the first
underage
person
at the
I
time.
whose puss I ate, but I figure saying that to Drew, he'd like stomp on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get more agitated.
People in high school eat pussy all the time.
Yeah.
They're just not supposed to, like
Right.
by the
Daryl,
card.
did you eat lots of pussy in high school?
No, I
None?
didn't.
Yeah, it
sounds
fucking
odd.
shows.
Sounds like someone wasn't generous.
I ate some, just not a lot. I had one.
Wait, sorry, you ate pussy once in high school.
Once.
Once in high school. Then who are you to judge?
I'm not judging.
Then who are you to judge?
I'm not judging.
All right, what are you
just,
doing?
I just don't want to be labeled as a prude. Okay, I had
How
sex.
is that?
Wait, how are you like, wait, let's stop talking about this. Let's stop talking about having sex, lest we be labeled as prudes.
Yeah, the one cowering away on the edge of the couch with
That's
their
what's
head
gonna.
in their chest.
You
is
are
like,
a prude right now. I'm labeling you right now. If I had like a label maker, I'd put prude across your forehead.
Well, I loved pussy back then, and I love it now. All right,
I used to love
Sounds
pussy.
like
I
a guy
still
who
do.
has a lot of sex.
I'm a sex maniac.
I still do, but I used to too.
I still do, but I used to too. What is that from again?
I always
Mitch
forget his
Hedberg
name.
bit.
Mitch Hedberg, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. He is good. He is a good man.
Any more of the questions on this one?
I ate something weird as a kid.
What was that?
No.
Ass?
Yeah, it said weird, by the way. Okay, there's nothing weird about
My
eating
first time
sex
eating
organs.
ass was also like before I was 18.
Oh, Jesus.
I was an adventurous person.
I've never eaten ass.
You were never eating ass yet?
I have never eaten ass.
You're missing out.
Oh, no.
You have to prepare well.
I-
Nobody's spick and span back there like
I-
like days beforehand. But you know,
it doesn't have to.
I ate a titty too.
you ate a titty. You ate a titty.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
What's wrong with you?
We're not
Oh,
labeling you as
sorry,
a
you can eat
prude.
pussy, that's fine, but eating a titty, that's like, wow,
Yeah,
that's
it's fucked
the
up, man.
weird
That's
thing.
because there's a colloquialism involved in eating pussy. We know what you actually meant. Like you'll-
Eating a titty sounds like you just like lobbed it off
Yeah,
and
it sounds like-
chefed
it sounds
up
like that
and
with
drew
pussy.
Walk and
It sounds exactly like that with pussy.
It doesn't sound like that with pussy. You,
Yeah,
No.
it sounds like you sliced off.
You're
no,
old.
it's there,
You're
and
old
you
as
have to
slicing the
come
lips
to the dining table to eat.
That
you know?
I felt that viscerally in my own crotch, and I need you to stop with that, Drew. Sorry, Daryl.
What?
Sorry, I'm so used to yelling at
You
you.
should stop too, though.
Yeah.
Involved in this.
Was that because of the lips thing?
Yes. Yes, it was because of the lips thing. What's the last part of the question? Underwater adventures or something like
Underwater
that?
basket weaving, and we've moved on though.
Wait, where are we going? Are we going the other way now?
Oh, did you read the last one?
Yeah.
All right, go.
If there are 7 jelly beans to split between 6 kids, how many do you eat?
I eat one because then the other 6 can be dispersed between the 6 kids.
Yeah. 'cause I'm
that
not a
seems
kid, yeah.
that seems right.
Yeah.
Next question.
It's not a
I don't-
trick
I mean,
question.
yeah, right?
It's just a very simple one.
Well, unless you're selfish.
I'm going to eat 4, and then I'm going to leave 3 there and tell them not to eat it, and see how long it takes for them to actually buckle and eat the damn jelly beans.
What's their motive to not eat it? It's not like
Why
they get
4
more if they
specifically,
actually eat it.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do, I don't really like jelly beans all that much.
Yeah.
Jelly
so I'm gonna
beans.
give every kid a jelly bean, keep the other one, and say the last person to eat their jelly bean gets this one. Then they get 2.
You guys are doing some like psychological shit.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
I'm
also
a bad
just give them
person.
jelly.
Yeah, evidently, yeah.
It's like Milgram.
Don't put this upon kids. Don't subject kids to your psychological experiments. We already had
There was,
Piaget. We don't need to learn anything more about kids. Vygotsky, go home. Actually, that's not true. I like Vygotsky way more than Piaget. Vygotsky for life. I'm a Vi guy. Yeah. Okay. No word of a lie. My professor for video games in the classroom or video games in education. We bonded over both being Vi guys. She was like, we're going to learn about Piaget and Vygotsky, but truth be told, I don't really trust Piaget's theories in the face of Vygotsky. And I was like, yo, I'm a Vi guy too. And she was like, all right, Paul. She's very sweet.
All right, so this next question has a follow-up question. So the first question is iron really the 5th element? And then the follow-up is,
No.
does Bruce Willis smelt it?
Iron is not the 5th element.
Wait, is
like smells like
Oh,
as in, like,
The Fifth Element is a movie
It's
that
a
Bruce
movie,
Willis is in.
yeah? I haven't seen it yet.
The Fifth Element is supposed to be love.
Who's seen it? Well, spoilers.
It's not a good movie.
That's fair. All right, next question.
Yeah,
I guess?
Fifth Element's boron.
What? Yeah.
You moron.
Boring.
Boron, you moron. That question was a little bit boron. Anyway, how do you navigate brain farts? That's an interesting question.
During improv
horribly.
or in general?
Let's go both.
Okay.
In improv, how do you navigate? Truth be told, I don't really get brain farts because I don't really think that way in improv. Like, everything is already in the moment. I can think about where things can go, but if I lose it, I don't ever think of it as a loss. Like in that David Lynch, like, if you forget an idea, you're gonna want to commit suicide. Have you ever seen those clips?
No.
It's great. Someone made a compilation of all the times that David Lynch talks about how if you forget a huge idea you have, you want to commit suicide, and it's genuinely like an 18-minute video.
wow, because he
And
talks
he's like,
about it that much.
well, yeah, and it's arranged in order of severity. So, like, by the end, he's like, I've wanted to commit suicide because I've forgotten 3 ideas in my life. And I'm like, cool, David Lynch, thank you. Anyway, yeah, I don't really see it in, like, that sort of, like, the scene must go this way. So if I get a brain fart, I'm just sort of like, huh? Oh, this scene, someone offered this thing. And almost, like, because we keep offering things in scenes, I constantly have brain farts. Because, like, the way I thought it was going to go, someone introduced a new thing, and I'm like, okay, we're doing this now.
Yeah.
I mean, usually if somebody introduces an idea, if you don't have anything immediately to, like, the yes and it, you can at the very least say yes and then let them explore the idea and then jump on when you're ready.
Yeah.
I've definitely forgotten things that people have introduced in the scene.
Oh, names?
Like
Oh.
that's something where I feel bad about, but I also move on quickly.
I'm actually kind of decent with that. I don't know why. When it comes to lore and scenes,
it
like,
all
if
together.
something gets introduced, I think it's fair to say that, like, Darel and myself are the people that reintroduce elements a lot in scenes. Drew actually a lot as well.
I like callbacks, but I'm not very good at, like, remembering some fine
Yeah.
details.
I'd say if it was put to, for some strange reason, a competition, Drew and I would, Darel and I would be, wow, Jesus. Darel and I would be,
the same person.
like, fighting for first place in terms of, like, constantly using the lore and re-implementing it well.
Yeah, I'm very good at remembering ideas and special things that like made me laugh, but like names or things that I bring up in a scene. Oh man, it's like
Really?
it's out.
Well,
of my brain.
you fooled me. You did it pretty well at the last show.
Well, it depends, right? Like again, if it's like a memorable thing, or like I take my cues from the audience. If the audience laughs at something, I'm like, all right, that's coming back.
Okay, that's where we differ. To me, the audience is invisible. I don't listen to whether they
Really?
laugh or not.
I listen to the audience.
I do not. No, I for the life of me,
energy.
I know when they laugh at things that other people do, like Luke's scene with the milk and stuff like that. But when it comes to me, I have no idea. And also, it's more tranquil that way because, like, I'm as at peace with, like, say, I imagine the library scene, which was relatively serious, that us three did. Didn't get a lot of laughs, I imagine, but I wasn't really paying attention to that. And I imagine, like, me being the top hat in that Monopoly scene got more laughs, but I don't even know that. I have to guess afterwards.
Really?
Yes, because I'm so very in the scene, and maybe that's why I'm better than you at remembering the
'Cause you're
names.
so immersed.
Yeah, immersion, bitch.
Yeah. What did they used to call it the third eye, where you're like watching yourself in third person, so you're taking in all the information around you and being in the scene.
Sure, bitch.
But like, one, it's really hard to do, so obviously I'm not like an expert at it.
Yeah, bitch.
But it's the kind of skill that
Stop.
I want. Like, I feel like the skill cap to that is very high.
And you know all about caps, Mr. Hat.
I
Yeah,
love
bitch.
easy caps.
Yeah, no cap.
No cap,
No cap.
bitch.
What was the question again?
How do you navigate brain farts?
Oh yeah. I'm really bad with brain farts, like especially
noticed.
outside of improv. Well, like sometimes you'll ask me a hypothetical, and y'all have called me out before. I'll stall trying to like get my footing to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I deal with it pretty badly by stalling.
If your dick was a cat, would you cut it off and allow it to live its own life, or would you like keep it on, hoping that it would transform back into your dick someday?
So the thing with that, the first thought
Prepared answer.
is if it got turned into a cat, I feel like more people would want to touch it, and that just works out better for me. So I would leave it on.
Well, it's just a cat now. It's not. It doesn't have the sensitivity of
Oh,
your
it doesn't
dick.
give me any pleasure to get pet. It's
No.
attached to me though.
Yeah, but
Like I would
it's
feel
a
it
cat
if it got
now.
pet.
It's a cat now. Of course it would. If it transformed into a third leg, it would operate as a leg. It's not like that leg magically comes.
But it's a part of Drew.
So
It's not
basically-
really a cat. It's like a
If
a really fuzzy dick.
If a full-fledged penis shot out of your shoulder one day, that wouldn't just it would just be like a shoulder. If it's a full-fledged penis with all of the nerve endings, it would still feel like that. So by extension,
I guess
if your
that makes
penis
sense.
transformed into something else, it would lose the nerve endings of penis.
Yeah, but in that case, I'm losing my penis either way.
Well, that's why I'm saying, do you keep it on knowing that, like, someday maybe it'll transform back into your dick? Because this was already kind of, it's fair to say, unexpected to begin with.
Oh, I would hope so.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't plan for it.
Or would you cut it off going, like, this kitty deserves its own life?
Well, I was thinking selfishly, like, if I cut it off, I get to live my normal life minus sex.
Where's it attached?
Not necessarily minus sex, minus dick.
Where's it attached? Like from the cat?
Tail.
That's a good point.
Tail was the penis.
Is it attached?
No,
So
I
it's
thi- I
like
think-
really dangling there? by
I
its tail?
imagined like the hind leg area was
Like a
fused
centaur.
into, so you just had the
It
front
looks like he's
mixed
fucking the
mouth.
cat. Like, it just fused to be the
that's
back.
what I'm
That's why you had
wondering.
a prepared
Yeah.
answer.
Do we have, is it like, do we...
Man, that would
been
suck if,
thinking
like,
about this.
if that would suck if you couldn't feel the difference. So one night you were just about to have sex with your girlfriend and you took off your pants and she's like, "Hey, want to explain that?" And you're like, "What? Is it bigger than? Oh my god!"
I swear I shaved. No.
When I don't shave, my dick looks like a cat. My dick smells like cat poo. You have a lot of explaining to do.
Do we share a digestive tract? Like, is it pooping on me, or...
No.
Do I have to feed it?
No,
Okay.
but it doesn't come out of its mouth.
No.
Okay.
I understand that. I'm thinking, like, I
Can't
think
get all the benefits of it.
I would keep it for a while and then decide how bad it was. Like,
That's
I
reasonable.
need to know how much it disrupts my life.
Okay, I'm good for that.
And the question? What was that again?
How do you navigate brain farts? We spent a good amount of time on it.
Okay,
Can you give me another one?
Yeah, sure, buddy.
This one's blank.
Blank.
What?
Blank. You're such a bwanker. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Why do you find improv like a chaotic therapist?
I feel that.
That's
Not-
kind of presumptuous.
I also
Yeah.
it's a strange sentence.
Why do you find improv like a chaotic therapist? Maybe one of us said that during the other show.
I don't think I've ever said that because I don't think that.
I don't either.
I could see myself like saying that and then cleaning up my wording afterwards, where it's like, well, it's not necessarily like that.
Like, it says an asterisk beside it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not as deep as a therapist, but you're
Yeah.
still exploring different ideas.
You're exploring yourself, but like a therapist's job to explore you is way different than improv's job to explore you.
Yeah. Well, actually, further to what you said earlier about
Further.
like, not listening to the audience or whatever.
I don't listen to anybody,
So you're like fully in the Zen mode.
as is evident right now.
Do you think that provides more therapeutic qualities where you're able to explore things without having to worry about what other people think? Or do you think having the pressure of the audience laughter in the moment would affect your decision making and have you like exploring those details in a different way?
I have a question, but it's gonna make you do a biggest jack off motion ever because it's a very hippy dippy answer.
Okay.
When I start doing a scene, this is gonna be bad. When I start doing a
Get
scene,
ready. Grab their dicks.
I feel cringe even saying this, but I don't know how else to phrase this. When I start a scene, Paul vanishes. Oh. Yeah, I know. Jack off motion ensue. But it's genuinely how I feel. When I start a scene, I as a person cease to be, and I am a medium for storytelling. Like, I see it as
feel like
something
a channel.
absent of myself insofar as my identity goes. Because the whole point of doing, like, a scene where you're a character is to not be yourself. So I sort of like get immersed into this in such a way that I think that's another reason why I don't acknowledge the audience. Not necessarily like, oh, I don't care about laughs. No, it's because the audience exists outside the scene. We're doing this for the audience, but the audience is something that exists outside those
The
four
character
walls.
doesn't see the audience.
Exactly, yeah. And right now, I need to be the character and make that scene.
Is that why you hated being called the meta one?
I think so. That's a very good reason, yeah. Like, no joke here.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely,
just like-
that's probably why.
Because it was so disruptive to what you saw, or what you felt, what you experienced.
But it's interesting because I don't like being called it, but I am the meta one of at least this troupe where I use like the conventions of the scene to most often like play with it, like when
wrenches and the cards that you guys did in the last
yeah,
show.
exactly, and like calling out like when something isn't true or
The
something like
alarm
that.
goes off in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Bringing in elements from the other scene. There was one point where, like, I think Darel... No, it was someone rolled a 1, and I said, that's impressive considering there were 2 dice or something like that. Yeah. It's in the Monopoly scene. I'm sorry for those that don't watch our shows that
You
listen to
rolled
this
a 2 and
podcast.
didn't roll again, so you fucked up the rules of Monopoly as well.
No, Marvin Gardens has special rules in our universe.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway. No, I don't find improv to be like a therapist, because I'm not solving any of my personal problems.
Yeah.
Through improv. That's basically it.
The way that
At least that's how I approach therapy, is oftentimes I come really prepared.
I do
And
a show.
and
I do a show for me, and you guys have to pay $10 for it.
Both of those things coexisting is almost like, ugh.
Yeah, and also, like, I don't go to therapy to just kind of talk to myself and vent. Like, that's not improv, and it's not therapy. Like, I'm pretty, like, disciplined in my therapy practice to be like, let's get some shit done. I want something to do. I want things to change. Like, I've been to therapy my whole life, and I know what it's like to pay $180 to say stuff and be like, well, what the fuck was that for?
Can you imagine if
like you know what you want out of it now.
Can you imagine if a therapist had the same ideology as like some of those? You know how like some improvisers are like, we're doing this for us, and if the audience doesn't like it, fuck what they say. You know, like they're giving each other pep talks. Can you imagine if a therapist was like, I do therapy for me, and if you don't like what's happening, you can go to another therapist. Can you imagine
Probably
that?
is.
Like, I've met improvisers before who are just sort of like, yeah, man, we're just doing a show for ourselves. Fuck what they think. Like, we even if we don't do anything, who cares? It's just improv, man. And I'm like, yeah, but like they're paying
No, you're
money
charging
for it.
people. You don't want to
Yeah.
still give a certain level of quality to
Yeah,
aim for.
I used to be sort of like, oh, who cares? Some people do improv for themselves, and some people do improv for the audience. But I've kind of switched to that. Like, now that I'm thinking, like, the interwovenness, as you said, the intersectionality of economics with it, like, genuinely, if you're asking money from other people, you are giving a service to them. You can't simultaneously go, no, I do improv 100% for me, and you guys have to pay, without being an asshole.
Yeah, it's a time and a place thing, right? Like if you're doing an improv jam or whatever, or like just doing improv with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody needs to care, but you know, if it's a pay what you can show,
That's fine.
I guess you could probably get away with it. But if you have like ticketed sales and stuff, especially if it's like high price tickets, which exist.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I have not encountered in 2023 a single improv troupe that charges as little as us. They usually charge minimum $15.
Yeah.
I've seen places that charge $25 for a show that's definitely worse than ours.
Yeah, but we also have some rental benefits as well.
We do,
Like
for sure.
Our overhead's low.
Our overhead is lower, and we're also just like... We're like smaller, so we're like less corrupt, quite frankly.
With the therapy thing, oh my god, speaking of brain farts, somebody else answer. I had it in my mind.
Your therapist sucks. When you go to therapy, you do improv.
I have
I
to
think I was
fart.
kind of on a similar
I'm gonna
page.
turn around and fart in your face, Drew.
How do I get rid of brain farts? Fart in my face.
Where being able to have a medium of like going and acting and not being yourself.
Paul just got up, ready to fart.
Drew pointed the finger. We all know which one, told me to sit that. Drew's iconic finger was raised in the air, wagging itself at me. For those that don't know, Drew's iconic figure is the pointed finger on his left hand. Go on, Leslie.
But I think you were getting at the point of like just that kind of having that medium is therapeutic in itself a little bit, but it's not necessarily like proper therapy.
Sorry, it's the one on the right hand this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, the idea of like what Luke said of like going into therapy, these are some things I want to work on. Give me some tools to solve them. I can see how. I can see how.
Drew's so sexy.
Is this what you felt like? I can see how taking those tools, implementing them in an improv scene, exploring the ideas that you got from therapy would work. I do think with Paul's point, though, it's a risk to do that in a paid improv show,
Yeah.
that's probably too self-indulgent.
They can work in tandem, though.
They
I don't think
can, but,
Leslie's
like-
point is, like, antagonistic to mine.
No, I'm not saying that.
Were you saying that, Leslie?
No.
Well, then what the fuck, Drew?
I'm not saying that.
True, you French.
I'm saying that you can
French
use
ass little
improv as a tool to you can use improv as a tool to explore the ideas in therapy, but also you shouldn't probably charge money to vent your issues unless people want to see that. Because honestly, some people do want to see that.
Okay. Yeah, I've also been to like stand-up comedy shows where people legitimately just need therapy and it's only uncomfortable. Where
They
they're
just
like,
air out shit.
dude, I've seen like,
laughs.
I've seen some like comedians where it was just sort of like, yeah, I got into a fight with my my husband the other day, and like, you know, we're working through it. You know what I'm saying? And like
I'll be
people are
honest, it's
laughing,
like,
and I'm like, yeah, and I'm going like, what was the punchline?
So relatable.
Well, that's what it is.
I hate my husband too.
I despise when, like, this is the same thing. I was talking about this with Eric, how Roseanne Barr is doing a thing on Fox Nation now where it's like, cancel the show, or something like that. And all she's doing is whining about, like, right-wing talking points where she's like, how can a man be a woman if the title is man? And everyone goes, woo!
I saw a clip from that. Oh my god, I can't remember what she said. It was something really... Like, it just wasn't a joke at all.
Yes, that's the thing that bothers me.
Yeah, she just said something, like, in this
not
weird, like,
comedy.
paced way, and then everyone's like, ah!
There was a clip that I saw on Twitter of her in that same special where she was like, you know, all these kids come to their parents and they're like, what's my gender? What's my
That was
gender?
it.
How about get a job? That's your...
Oh,
She literally said that.
Yeah.
Professional comedian.
Yeah, and she also, like, right after said something along the lines of, like, oh, what's a woman? What's a woman? This is,
Yeah, and everyone's
pointing
like,
to herself, and everyone's like, yeah, Roseanne!
That's
I
truly,
love
like,
the way you called a black woman a gorilla.
truly, like, fucking senile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly.
And, like, this is not something that exists purely in the right wing, by any stretch of the imagination. This is, like, a human problem right now, where people just go, like, this thing, right? And people who agree are like, this is comedy!
You're on my team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially on Twitter where it's like, imagine thinking this. Well,
Yeah.
and then you think this is this, you probably think this.
Yeah, fuck
Cringe.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Quote tweet.
I feel like a lot of that was just like people misunderstanding. Like, I'm sure like this happened beforehand, but I feel like a lot of the modern wave of this was just people misunderstanding why Jon Stewart is clever.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like
the
the
talk show, the like comedy talk show.
Yeah, I did not know how influential Jon Stewart was to like the interrelated fields of news and comedy.
Yeah.
He changed the fucking game.
He was the first one, right? Well, like the way we see it now, like, the way we experience those kind of shows.
He wasn't like a pioneer or anything, but he was definitely someone who pushed in a certain direction and everyone else followed.
Right.
Yeah. It's also like something that really sucks about people getting influenced by Jon Stewart is that how much
No one's as clever as him, first of all.
First
No one.
First of all, and every successor, no.
Trevor Noah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not nearly as clever, but
He
also
said John Travolta.
John Travolta. The Daily Show with John Travolta. But it's just like it's a mass. The reason why it works is like the Bush administration, like the Trump administration works completely differently.
Yeah.
And it's like we're in a different.
Yeah, it's really fun watching like old John Oliver videos from like 6 years ago now, and just thinking like, holy shit, have we ever like moved on from this? And then watching like Jon Stewart stuff, and it's like it feels less like we've moved on from this, and we've moved on from this more.
Yeah.
How? And the answer is that Jon Stewart was really just one of a kind. Him and his staff writers, I should emphasize. He also picks his staff writers very meticulously, and perhaps John Oliver less so.
I don't know.
He literally can't even. You know that?
He literally can't even.
You know that he literally can't even.
It's so relatable.
It's a bit like when your penguin is in your freezer. Get out of the freezer, penguin! Hashtag get out of the freezer. Alright, what's the next question?
The next the next question's from Al.
Sharpton?
Why?
That wasn't
I
that
feel like
funny.
we've had that question before, right? Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because
What the fuck is that other name?
I don't feel comfortable reading people's last
Al,
names.
Re- Al Regular.
Al's regular.
Al Regular. Al Regular.
Yeah, it's Al Regular.
It's Al Regular.
Yeah, it's Al's definitely regular.
Yeah.
Wait, can I see that?
Al Regular. Look at that. That's Al Regular.
Yeah, it's
See
Al
that? That's
Regular.
Al Regular.
Yeah.
Al Regular.
Okay, fine. Say it as many times as you want to.
Yeah, it's
Al Regular. Al
Alright.
Regular.
Al
I'm not going to say that.
No, Al
Because
Regular.
I'm reading it and I see something else.
Wait, you're not going to say what?
Daryl.
I'm not going to say it.
Daryl.
Daryl.
You're not
Daryl.
going to trick me.
Daryl. I'm not going to trick you, but I want you to say it.
Imagine doing this in an improv scene
gonna brute
where it's
force
like,
you.
oh my god, Mr. Rabbit. I am not a rabbit.
Wait, question. How do you pronounce irregular?
not gonna trick-
Do you pronounce it any differently?
No.
What do you say then?
Milk. He says
Yeah, you say milk. Like, I want to hear you. The word I just said, without me repeating it, how do you say it?
Irregular.
See, you just okay. Me in editing. Could you take the time you said Al, take that regular, put them together.
Al regular.
Look at that. Look at that. You just said it. No, why'd you just say it when you said you wouldn't say it?
No, it says Al regular.
All right, well, now I have to... Okay, so put that time I said Al Regular in front of that, because we all agreed we wouldn't say his last name,
Well,
and then Daryl
I think
just
that's
did.
still not how it's pronounced. I think I know how that's pronounced,
I know
but
how
I'm
it's
just not gonna.
Lamb
I've heard
Regular.
that before, but we're trying to avoid saying the last name, and you said, "No, you're not gonna trick me. I'm gonna say it." Imagine doing that in improv.
We can fix it later.
This was way better than what we could have possibly given. Thank you for putting your name on this, Al. That really helped us. Next question.
Alright, so this is unnamed. Oh, no, it's
The name is
unnamed.
possibly on the back.
From Olivia. I won't say the last name.
Oh, Olivia Regular.
Olivia Regular.
Olivia's regular.
Good for her.
And
Helps with
Olivia,
your cycle.
Olivia asks, what did you want to be when you grew up when you were a kid? And then at the end here it says Illy with a heart.
Oh, that stands for I love you. Don't say that in front of Drew. He gets pissed off with you saying acronyms.
Yeah.
IRL.
ILY.
Illy. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
What did you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah, oceanographer.
Oh.
Genuinely?
Yeah, I really love the ocean.
You wanted to be that Rachel Carson? No, she was a marine biologist. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I wanted to be an oceanographer because I love
You want to be that
photographing.
Jacques Cousteau?
Yeah, comme Jacques Cousteau. Dans la mer, avec des baleines et avec des pommes.
With balloons?
What happened?
Avec des pommes et avec des asparagus et les haricots verts.
This is just a bunch of food.
Yeah. I said with green beans.
Green beans. Drew, I'm curious. What in the good goddamn did you think that you wanted to be when you grew up?
Like, it's not hard to guess.
Actor?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened?
Dressed
I
like one.
realized that that's not the lifestyle I wanted.
And yet you do improv. You are a professional
Yeah,
actor.
but my improv isn't my lifestyle.
He's
Yeah.
choosing to not let it go big.
It's not the
Yeah, I'm
entire.
holding you all back.
It's not the entirety of your lifestyle, but you are a professional actor.
Yeah,
you did what child Drew wanted.
I still enjoy acting, but when I say I wanted to be an actor growing up, like, I wanted that to be my life.
Back to intersectionality. We occupy many identities.
Yeah.
And they intersect.
So I
It's all a big
you don't seem
web.
to respect most of them.
I have my reasons, though.
Let's hear them.
1. Clowns.
2,
Don't do it.
3.
Fuck you, man.
All right. So you wanted to be an actor, and you became an actor, and somehow got more pissy about it. Daryl.
I wanted to be a firefighter.
Ooh, big strong man.
Yeah.
That's different
Big
than
man.
Big man. huh?
eh?
big man.
I could see that having
Big man.
actually happened, you know?
Big
Yeah.
Big man. Big.
Or maybe it was like a joke that I'd just say to my mom.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You never actually wanted
Maybe
to.
it wasn't like a true passion or dream.
Maybe
Maybe
it
it's
wasn't-
just something that told me.
I want to
maybe-
save people from burning buildings.
And then my mom would be like, no, don't do that. And I was like, just kidding.
Were you in front of a burning building? Why was she was like, no?
I'm going in there.
so your life purpose was occupied by making your mom upset?
Or just making jokes. Maybe I always wanted to be a comedian.
Oh.
So there it was. It came.
Did you always want to be a comedian or firefighter? I can't tell with your sociopathic
no.
ways.
I always wanted to entertain in some way. So I feel like,
I would be entertained if I was dragged out of a burning building by Daryl.
Entertain and firefighters have a lot more overlap than you think.
Oh yeah, if I wanted to be a stripper,
Yeah.
I could definitely go down a pole.
You have never been a sex worker. And you never will be.
All right, well, fuck you,
You'll never
man.
achieve your dreams.
Actually, you could be if you wanted to. Do you want to be a sex worker?
I don't.
Then shut up. Next question.
Oh, I wanted to be a veterinarian and help the animals.
You still can. You're younger than the rest of us.
I'm
Put together.
Yeah,
You're much
I've
younger
got,
than the rest of us put together.
I've got plans to work with animals, but like not necessarily in that way. So.
Go on.
Yeah, I would like to do marine biology, and I know that's a classic thing that everyone's like, I want to be a marine biologist, and then it's like, you're gonna fucking
Not
like
really.
live on the streets. But yeah, that's so I had an offer for marine biology when I was like 19, but yeah, someone talked me out of it. The pharmacist I worked with at the time was like, you will never get a job in that. Go take your science degree. Like, it's still a science degree, but like, do something else. Like,
Fuck
work
that
towards.
lady.
Is it like
Yeah.
astronaut, where it's like there's only 5 jobs out there?
I guess so, but the thing is, like, once you get out there and see, like, there's so much that you can do in marine ecology and just, like, wildlife education and stuff that I'd be so much happier doing.
And there's so much that an astronaut can do. Drew,
Yeah.
don't be like, oh, there are only 5 astronauts that can
obviously,
ever be astronauts.
Chris Hadfield's at the bottom
Name
of the ocean.
5 astronauts.
Isn't an astronaut like a military position, technically speaking?
I
I don't.
think
Is NASA part of the military?
I think it's you
It's
have
a
like
government-
military clearance
It's a
for
government
sure.
department, but
Yeah.
You have a lot of top
I
secret
think
information.
that, like, well, astronauts don't just, like,
But I guess that's
bum around at
specific to
home when
America.
they're not in space.
yeah, they have to keep really fit.
No, I mean,
and, like,
yeah, there's a lot.
Well, I
that
mean,
goes
no,
into
but I mean, they
being an
also have, like, other duties
oh, okay.
when they're on Earth. They aren't just sort of like, we need you, go to space, get out the gym, and go into space. And then when they come back, it's like, all right, piss off to your home gym, we'll call you when needed.
But I mean, like, you could study like astrophysics and like stuff that would be required to be an astronaut. But you still, there's a very short list of people that actually go to space.
No, unfazed.
So you might be working like
Completely
at the rocket launch,
unfazed.
which is
Used to
super
it.
cool. But it might not be specific.
Should have been in his face.
I think
He
it's,
just keeps talking, like spit particles go onto his fucking glasses. His
it's
Harry Potter glasses.
I think it's sort of like medieval times, you know, where like knights had to be like stewards.
You get like a roast chicken.
Oh, fucking
Yeah.
eat with your fingers,
Oh, you
and
with
they're
your
gonna
fingers and you're like,
grease it.
Being married. They always portray it really well. You know those chickens were rotten, though.
I mean, the
I'm
the
talking
lights are
about-
dark in there, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
the-
surprised.
It's-
Oh,
it's an
not
event
medieval
place.
times, medieval times. You're talking like the building.
Yeah,
Okay.
The show.
Yeah, I'm
Medieval
saying
times.
like back in the times,
Oh, yeah.
those chickens were rotten.
absolutely. Yeah,
But I'd eat a whole chicken.
Sam, I'd fucking know.
I would eat a whole chicken.
Mutton.
All right, you need a whole chicken. Great.
Thank you. Next question. What was the question?
What did you want to be when you grew up as a kid?
Huh. I'm much more like turn on a dime than the rest of y'all motherfuckers. There were so many different things that I wanted to do based on what was interesting at the time. So I cycled between actor. I wanted to be a scientist when I was really, really young before realizing that you actually had to do work. I was a very lazy kid compared to like now. Like when I was like 5, I was super, super lazy. Never did anything, even when it was asked of me.
Get a job.
Yeah, right. I wanted to be a game designer because all kids kind of do at some point in their lives, but I just like took it to heart. I wanted to be a filmmaker. I wanted to be an opera singer at one point. I had a proficiency for singing early on. Like when I was put into choirs as a kid, I got like solo parts and stuff like that, and my parents pushed that. And whenever my parents pushed something, that was when I decidedly stopped doing it. Like I read fucking Lord of the Rings, like the series, when I was 6 because like I could. I was still 6, so I didn't get the themes. I just could read the words, and I read the entire thing and went, "Well, that was stupid. Reading is bullshit." And I didn't read again until like grade 5, and I was behind in reading comprehension for the rest of my school.
reading Lord of the Rings.
After reading Lord of the Rings at age 6.
Nice.
Yeah, which is like so very fucking me in every single way. Like defying authority, being like showing a possible aptitude at something, and then nope, he's stupider than everyone else. Like every box is ticked. You
And
know
then
what I mean?
reading Lord of the Rings and then not understanding it.
Yeah, which is like me to a T.
Yeah.
To this day, what the heck is a Gandalf?
Oh god.
Anyway, I also wanted to be a history teacher. I wanted to be like a media teacher, which I guess I am now. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
But I still have like under my bucket list, because I think I've talked about this before. A bucket list should be things that you can't possibly all do in your lifetime. If you can do it, it's not a bucket list, it's a to-do list that you're a bit lazy to get started on.
Fair, yeah.
I also have a different perspective on it, because I don't know if I've told this group this, and I'm sorry if this is being a downer on the conversation. Okay, cool. I don't have as long to live as the rest of y'all because of my lung problem, so I have a fundamentally... I was talking about this with Sarah the other day.
Yeah.
I have a fundamentally different view of, like, why I do things, because like you'll go to school because like, oh, this will help with my career later.
Yeah, I can retire and then
yeah.
blah, blah.
But also just you can see things long term.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I don't want to say I was robbed of the ability to do that, but like I don't do that anymore.
You have to do things now.
Exactly. And if I'm doing something, it's to serve a thing I am currently doing rather than serve this hypothetical future. So like I'm getting my master's, not necessarily career enhancement. I'm doing it because like A, it's a thing to do, and
I'm bored.
Yeah, and B, because DM'd me on Twitter and said you want to do this, lol, and C, because like it helps with like the projects that I'm currently making.
Right. The education of it will.
Yeah. So I just kept pinballing back and forth between I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that, and now I'm much more focused on the do rather than the be. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. Like, I want to be a firefighter. Instead, it's like, I want to save people from fires. Like, here are the things that I want to do. I don't necessarily want to be a game designer, but I want to finish the game
Just
that
a
I'm
different
making.
way to, like, word your identity.
Yeah.
I should be
But
wandering the streets looking for fires.
Exactly.
I should be setting them.
Well, it also helps you be more proactive, because if you think, I want to be a teacher, you're thinking like, oh, a job. And usually that sort of corresponds with, I'll do the courses and something will happen to me. Mm-hmm. But if you think, I want to teach other people about thing, you're thinking much more proactively, what are the steps needed to get to there? It's a better way of thinking, and also puts less pressure on, like, titles.
Yeah, you also get, like, you get kind of, like, you get attached to, like, that identity, and it's, like, it's very hard when you start getting, like, criticized about it, rather than being, like
I'm the teacher, or something like that.
Or, like, being, like, I'm a Christian, so this is obviously what I'm doing is Christian, versus, like, I am doing Christ's work.
Yeah,
I'm doing Christ.
We had a lot of
Christ.
Yeah. So you can be like, you can be criticized on a process of a thing that you're doing better than you can be criticized on what you think of yourself as.
Yeah, you can
I'm
fuck
eating
God.
pussy.
Eating pussy.
You ever eat pussy, Leslie? We didn't ask you.
Oh, as a queer woman, the answer's still sadly no.
Damn.
I know.
We will ask next month. We will reconvene.
Check in every month.
Damn.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
This concludes Leslie's Pussy Watch. Play the jingle. Was that our final question?
No.
3 more.
Okay. Leslie, I think is the next one.
Yeah.
Wait.
Pussy?
Oh yeah, you answered the. What did you want to do?
Oceanographer, yeah.
Oh, this one has
I still love the ocean.
3 questions.
Time for
from
rapid fire.
Chaz
Yeah.
Michaels. 1. Are UFOs aliens or high-tech aircrafts?
Probably high-tech aircraft, but I don't know.
They can be both.
Neither.
Y'all hear about the China spy balloon?
That was funny.
It was funny. There were a lot of good memes about it.
We don't even know if it was a spy balloon. At this point, who cares? If they wanted to find out what Montana looks like, have a ball.
Satellites.
Yeah.
So like they flew over Area 51.
There was a
Yeah, they missed it if they wanted to.
I think there was a tweet from someone I really like. It was like the clip of people saying like, "Please, civilians, do not try and shoot this down. Like you will miss and like hit somebody." And someone said like, "If the people of Montana don't shoot this down, they don't deserve the Second Amendment, and they should take it away." That's what it's for.
I also love how they shot like $1 million fucking missile at the balloon
That
when they
was
shot it
awesome.
down. It's like, it's a balloon. Use a pea shooter.
Or like, go in a helicopter and just grab it.
Yeah. Return it to them. Like, in both cases where, like, it's a spy thing and it is actually a meteorological balloon that blew off course, like you can grab it,
Tie
study
it to a plane, bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back to them, and they're either like, oh, thank you for bringing back our meteorological balloon, or, hey, we noticed this fucking spy apparatus that's on it, what's up with that? And China's like, you got us. Alright.
Okay.
Fair enough.
We'll
we wanted
get
to
you
see
next
if
time.
Montana really is the shithole we think it is.
Xi Jinping's like, okay.
Next question.
Second question. Who played the best Batman?
You know what? I'm kind of partial to Robert Pattinson. I like the way he took it.
What? When did he play Batman?
The Batman.
Recent.
In 2022.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. I haven't seen any Batman.
I started that movie.
You
and
can't
I
answer this
really-
question. Wait, you can probably... You
No,
like the
I do
animated
like-
one. You probably... I feel like you'd like that one.
I never watched it.
Okay.
But I do like the older one. Like Adam West, is that his name?
Adam West.
Yeah,
the silly
that
one.
was funny.
The
I
silly
liked
one,
that
yeah.
a lot. Yeah.
I'm Adam West. That's Adam West impression. What's the name of the guy that died recently? Kevin Conroy?
What?
I think it's Kevin Conroy.
Oh, yeah. The cartoon Batman.
Yeah.
Voice
A
actor.
lot of people liked him. Good for them. Robert Pattinson.
I think it's hard to answer also because, like, is it the writing or is it the actor?
Oh, that's a very good
informing
point.
it as well, because there's a lot of moments. I haven't watched like the animated Batman or anything like that, but there's a lot of moments where like really humanizes Batman in the way that like the Christian Bale one kind of doesn't.
Who played the best Batman?
Yep.
Take that as you will.
Okay,
Yeah, no more semantic arguments.
I don't know any of that.
That's
names.
Answer
it's
the
credit.
question.
It's credit zero. There are going to be more semantic arguments.
Damn it, I was trying to wrap this
Based
up.
off my limited knowledge, I would say the person who played the animated Batman, the one that you just said.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based on my limited knowledge of the Batverse.
Okay, another complication. There's a different criteria between who played the best Batman and who played the best Bruce Wayne. Because that's a common conversation in DC stuff.
Is that?
Yeah.
That's so very hair splitting.
Because
Do
I
they
think
differ a lot?
yeah, because
Spider-Man?
I think Michael Keaton's a great Bruce
Tobey
Wayne, and I
Maguire
think
played a
Christian-
fantastic fucking
Peter
Peter
Parker,
Parker,
and then
because
Andrew
like
Garfield played the best Spider-Man. And
you shouldn't
we
have
all
like
heard it.
you shouldn't have Spider-Man be like the hero of the story. Like Tobey Maguire looks like a little pathetic, and that's
yeah,
nice.
He's
like-
really like failing.
I was.
he has man tits, and I can relate to that.
There was like a video or whatever commenting on it, and like apparently Peter Parker like wasn't like a great person before he was Spider-Man.
Well,
Like he was like down to fight and shit.
wow.
I would
Like
be
the first-
if I had man tits.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I like Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne. I think Christian Bale is a good Batman, but a shit Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not my favorite. I have to think of it that long, but Christian Bale's a good Batman and a shit Bruce Wayne.
Okay. What's
Daryl, Batman?
My favorite Batman is George Clooney.
What?
George Clooney is a handsome man.
Next
One of the worst
question.
Batmans.
It is the worst Batman, but he's the best Batman in the Batman universe.
The next question is Jim Carrey's best movie, and then they have also answered in brackets, but I will leave that until everyone else gives their opinion.
Mr. Popper's Penguins.
May I give a hot take?
Yeah.
I don't fucking like Jim Carrey.
Is that a
That's
hot
fine.
take?
I'm not a huge fan.
You've earned at
Okay.
least the respect of one of our viewers. You know who you are. A lot of people don't like Jim Carrey.
No, my partner's really into his stuff and like grew up with it, and so like
What's his
we'll
best
watch.
What's his best business? You probably would like Eternal Sunshine.
Cable
then.
Guy was Luke's
Ace
favorite.
Ventura, Pet Detective.
Fuck no!
Yeah.
I
No,
remember
that one was super transphobic.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, they like beat that person up. Right?
Yeah, no. The whole point of like the reveal at the end is like, aha, this woman is a transsexual. Literally, everyone in the room throws up.
Holy shit.
That is the climax of that movie. And then they're like, well, then she deserves everything that's coming to her.
What?
Because she's got a penis. It like zooms in on the bulge in her crotch. It is like the most transphobic
idea.
movie I have ever seen in my
I never knew
life.
that either.
Okay, that's
Haven't you
horrible.
watched it?
I have. I just,
So
years
long
ago.
ago, yeah.
And there was also that the first one, whatever it was, not Pet Detective. No. Like there's Ace Ventura. There's like
Oh, I see.
in the series. There's like another Ace
No,
Ventura.
the zoo.
Ace Ventura's Pet Detective is the first.
Yeah.
That's the first.
That's the first.
So
There's others in the series. There's Ace Ventura Pet Detective Jr. without Jim Carrey, and then there was Ace Ventura Pet Detective 2, which also had Jim Carrey in it.
Okay, yeah, maybe it's the second one I'm thinking of. I don't know.
Okay,
But
very quickly, silly Jim Carrey, best is The Mask.
That was
That's what
That's
our
fun and it's
Disagree.
stupid. It's
Disagree.
You don't like the
that's
mask?
what our friend Chaz
It's not that I don't.
said.
It's
He
not
said
that I
it's
don't
his
like the
favorite.
mask.
better one.
Liar, liar.
Okay.
Liar
I
Liar's
haven't seen
better.
Liar Liar.
Great.
I liked it.
Liar Liar is great because the antagonist, it's one of those things where it's like divorced dad tries to win his wife back, and like the guy that she's currently with, like the new dad, isn't an asshole. And that alone wins Liar Liar so many points because
it's
like
not that cliche.
yeah, because like oftentimes if it's like you're following the protagonist and winning the wife back, and this guy either cheated on her or is like a slob that isn't good for her. No, he's
Like the
good
cat
for
in
her
that
and
movie.
good for the kid.
Yeah.
And that creates like this moral complication of the movie.
Cool. I think he as a serious actor, he's quite good in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. But
okay.
I think The Truman Show is a better movie, but it's
Yeah.
not because of Jim Carrey.
It's because of what's the writer's name again?
I forget.
Andrew
Tate.
It's not Andrew Tate.
It's Andrew Tate wrote that.
My Bugatti!
My good guy. Say your mate is drinking still water.
My Bugatti! My Bugatti! My Bugatti is so hot right now.
I know that like looks, who cares about looks?
Yeah.
And I know this isn't a hot take. I am so surprised that the hero of the Manosphere looks like a boiled potato.
Yeah, he has no chin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
like, don't they care about that? Don't they care about how strong your jawline is? And their hero looks like he's like Roger Ebert in his last days.
yeah, adding to that,
Tasteless, I'm sorry.
adding to that, something that a friend of the podcast, Cameron, pointed out is like the fact that like the far right idolizes a mixed race Muslim man with no chin is a ticking time bomb.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
All right, is that all that's from there?
That is all from Chaz.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you, Chaz.
Thank you, Chaz. All right, next question. This will be a really quick one. Why VIP seating?
Because you gotta treat them.
Was this at a show where we had couches and chairs available?
Yeah, the couches
It's
were in the
literally
front row.
it's literally first come first serve.
Yeah, we just had couches.
We
There's
also
no
ran
VIP
out of
seating.
chairs that show, so we needed the couches.
And I will say the couches were pretty much like almost empty until we started, and I had to like prompt people to sit in them. So stop complaining.
You have to encourage people to sit in the front row. It's
Well, maybe it was just like a
get
bad.
braver.
It is
Maybe
like
just
sure.
people just misunderstood, and that's on our end for miscommunicating.
Yeah,
Next-
it's not
next
the
question.
primo seating or anything.
Last one.
It's like
Last
a
one.
stand-up show.
Here we go.
Everybody thinks they're gonna get heckled.
This is from Eric. It's not a
Eric.
question.
All right,
Find something in the room that is the most significance to you.
All of us, this is
Drew.
Okay.
Drew.
my water bottle.
No, I'm answering mine.
Oh.
Aw. Me, my books. And my bookshelf. I'm really happy with that bookshelf, and I love my books.
I take this water bottle everywhere I go, even though I've dropped it like 6 times
I
and it's
just
pretty
dropped
cracked
it.
up.
Yeah, when I said the Andrew Tate thing.
Oh, I drank out of it and moaned. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's by my dick.
that's why I moaned. I could smell it.
Did it smell like cat food?
No.
It's because I moved my pants.
I also like my cup. It's a thermos, and it keeps things super hot and super cold for a very
Thermos
You
long
like
time.
your cup better than you like your phone.
Yeah. My phone, I dropped it in motor oil.
Do you like your
So,
cup? Do you like your cup better than you like your closet?
my closet's not in this room, so.
Do you like your cup better than you like your bowl?
My bowl?
Yes.
My bowl's not in this room.
Do you like your cup better than you like your fucking telephone?
Circle
Get
back.
real, Darel.
Liz, Lee.
My phone.
It's a little monkey.
The only thing meaningful in this room, maybe, well, Luke got his PS4 from the store I work at.
Yeah.
And I helped his lady pick it out.
You like wearing your glasses.
You
Glasses
I
are
do.
significant.
Those are
Yeah.
crystals.
There are crystals around here.
There's lots of cool crystals. Crystals are nice.
There's a ceiling. It's popcorn.
That's kind of important.
Without it, where would we be? In a larger room.
In a like a taller room. Yeah.
There'd be a toilet over.
That's a great place to end.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Drew, get real close to the mic and tell people what your
I
name
have
is.
to go pee. Oh, Drew is my name.
The rest of us.
Luke.
Darel.
Leslie.
Paul Tweed. Bye.
Bye.